Alright, everyone. It's been a rush, eh? The portal activation really allowed some energy in, and a lot came through. So let's get right down to it. So I made some notes. Yeah, this is live. It happens. It happens as we go. So, okay. This is the last. Give me just a second, okay? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know I should be doing this before I started recording, right? But there's something to this about the vulnerability, the embarrassment. What's that energy? What's the energy that you feel? How intense is it? The energy of embarrassment. Oh, what are they gonna think? Ooh, it feels horrible. It's strong, it's powerful. And that's the point, because energy is supposed to flow. So maybe today's episode is about the flow of energy. Maybe it's not. So let's go back to the past concepts, and we understand that we have this energy that we are gifted every day, and we need to use it. We want to use it on the things that we pursue and the things that are attracting us, so we can connect with it and release the energy in a faster rate, because it's about the releasing of energy, the transmission of energy. So now bear with me, right? Because this evolves, and you're going to evolve it with me, because I'm not the preacher of truth. I didn't want to say preacher, but I am not the sayer of truth. I am just the spark, maybe, that will continue, because it will never end, because it can't, because it is everything. It is the universe, it's the simulation. It will keep going, it will keep expanding, because that is what we are, and that is what we're creating all together with our energy. So the energy that we have every day is the energy of the universe that we are actually giving off through our emotions to the universe, so the universe could power and create itself, create us, because we are being created by that which we are powering. And I know it's kind of creepy, kind of loopy, right? Not creepy, loopy. So, okay. So my entire life, I'm in the pursuit of that which gives you a stronger connection, so you can share energy faster. Nothing more than that. Is it that antique car? Is it paragliding? Is it bungee jumping? Is it Formula One racing? Is it drifting? Is it, you name it? It's just the transfer of energy. That's what we're seeking. That is what sparks us, connects us, allows us to flow. Think of all the terms that we hear every day, because everybody knows, but they can't say. And that rhymed. Okay, maybe somebody wants to make a song out of this. And so we have the energy, and this energy that we are transmitting every day is flowing through us, right? That energy that we feel, that we seek expression with the things that we are pursuing, Every time you go like, yeah, even if it's energy that's borrowed from the collective, because other people are doing the same thing. So every time you're cheering for a sport, you are collectively agreeing to move that energy. And that's what it's all about. You know, there is as much energy in winning the gold medal for an athlete as there is in the energy of watching your team winning the championship. But it's the entire collective energy that the team had to be able to win the championship. I'm not comparing winning a gold medal with watching television or rooting for a team. I'm saying that the energy required for that to happen is the same energy required for that athlete to win the gold. But it doesn't matter what you choose to do to express that energy. All that matters is that it gets transmitted. That energy the energy flows. And why? Why are we so responsible for the flow of energy? Okay, are you ready for this? Buckle your seatbelt. Because we are the midichlorians. We are the microscopic life forms that lives and creates the energy that connects everything, that powers the energy that creates everything. We are the midichlorians. We are the force. And the force flows through us. Makes sense, doesn't it? So this is the thing. This is a bigger project. So George Lucas came up with this concept because he knew it was right. He needed to say this in some way to all of you so you would understand one facet of it, the reason, the purpose, the why. And then other people came along to show you the other part of the equation, not just the purpose, but the how. And the how is the energy that we flow because we are the midichlorians that allow everything to happen. So this is a two-part project. And I could only be able to explain you the allegory so you could understand what I'm talking about of this flow of energy. Because you could only understand because you have been trained, you have ascended to a higher level of consciousness, of understanding, so you could access another level of information, which is the information I'm presenting you now. It is a prerequisite for you to understand the force and able to understand the church of the simulation, because we are the force. Okay. Now, what if we were playing a game? You can play the game. It's a very nice RPG adventure, but you're going to be playing it first person. And don't worry, you can save the game, and you need to spend that energy, have infinite energy in that one life, right? In that one player. You have not infinite, okay, you have a finite energy in that character. and that character comes and starts playing the game. And then that character is consuming its energy every day and recharging it every day. But it consumes and recharges infinitely. Okay? So then, sorry, sometimes it stops. Okay. So the energy that you have to play is a unit. And the only rule is that you have to spend all that energy during the game. That's the requirement. You just need to spend that energy. You need to make it flow through you, that energy. Make the energy flow. That's the only requirement of the game. Throughout the game that's being played, you use all that energy. But in case you don't, this game you have infinite lives. The next life that you start in the game, the character has its own energy plus the energy of the previous life to spend. So each iteration of the life in a game has more energy, and that more energy is the energy that was remaining from the previous time the game was played. With me so far? So then, once you start playing this second life in the game, you have more energy at your disposal, which is a good thing. However, the energy that was remained from your previous gameplay, that energy is not 100% ready to be used. Let's say it's murky, it's clouded, it's shaded, there's a veil on top of it, so it's not ready to be used. And you will only clear up that energy if you spend your own energy in the experiences that are presented to you in your life, because that will be tailored to the amount of energy that is remaining on from the previous life. Okay, so let me try to make this simple. Let's say this game started in the caveman years. Okay, so you started the game in the caveman era, because you can choose whatever you want to start the game. I know, right? It's crazy, because there is no time, because it's a simulation. It happens all the time. It starts every time. So all those things that you see that happened in the past, they actually happened in a parallel dimension. You know, they happened, and in that dimension they're still happening right now. So you can choose anyway. So you can choose, and there we go. You can choose where you start and the energy that you have at your disposal. You have the energy that accumulated from the previous life interaction, right? So then let's say that in that previous life, that character died because of a bear attack. It happened. This is, a long time ago, caveman age. Sorry, buddy, you didn't run fast enough. But that remaining energy that is now yours has the energy of the bear in it. And depending on the intensity of the leftover that energy, depending on how much it is and how much it did flow or how much it didn't flow, you need to resolve that so you can access that energy that will complement your own. So you want to do it. So every iteration you get more energy, but you also get the responsibility to clean it up so you can use it, so you can transmit it and transmit it as the force that propels the universe. Is this making any sense? Yeah. So this game, this game of the simulation that we're describing, that we're playing, sounds awful lot like karma. So this, what I just described to you, I called it Karma Origins. And Karma Origins is the game that we play, where every iteration of the simulation that we play in, we have the energy of the previous iterations along with us, but we can only access it, we can only tap it, untap it, or we can only retrieve it once we clear it, once we harmonize it of the things that didn't flow in the previous term. So the bear example, you would either be petrified by bears, or you would be, or instead of bear, let's just say it was a buffalo, okay? Because it will make my point. It was, you were trampled by a buffalo. So then the next iteration, you are Buffalo Bill. You see? Because of that bear energy that was so intense. So then you spent that energy, you cleared up that energy by doing the thing that created the most flow in your energy. But that was because you were trying to unlock more energy that was yours, but borrowed. With me? So this is karma, this is DNA, this is ancestrality. This is what you carry from the previous iterations of you. And you are unraveling this in this life by the things that you choose and the things that you're afraid of and the energy you move and the reasons why you move it. Because you want to harmonize it so you can unlock it and transfer it and let it flow back to the universe, because you're a midichlorian and you need to make the force flow. That's your job. Thank you, George. You see? I hope this is making sense. So, okay, so that was the karma, huh? Yep. Okay. Karma Origins. How do you like that? And that is not yet the project that I'm talking about. I will soon release what the project is. But Karma Origins is a pretty interesting project too. Could even be a game. I could even be doing this. Imagine I am actually Neo, and I am creating the hype behind a game that doesn't exist yet, but yes, it does. That hasn't been developed yet. That will be explaining the simulation in a way that you understand it and you want to play with it, because that makes you flow energy. But the energy that you flow is feeding the simulation that is playing itself in front of you. Give me just a minute. Okay. So this is the last point. Thank you for my notes. I always try to keep good notes. So you just understood a very pretty concept, which is the concept of life and the flow of life and the flow of energy. So understand that all the energy that you flow through you, through the things that you seek, that gives you energy, that fuels you, that you transmit back in the form of energy, emotions, emotion, energy and motion, energy. All that energy fuels the simulation, and all the things that happen autonomously that you never really understood. How is it possible for this plant to grow? No, it's a given. Plants just grow. Yeah, but where does it get power from to create more mass? Where does it get energy from? Well, from you. So every flower that blooms, you know inherently that it is blooming because of your energy. That's allowing it to bloom, because that energy was once part of you, and I was just feeling the simulation. You see, so what would change in your concept of life if you would understand that the energy that you express through the things that you require, you seek to have it expressed in any form, in any intensity, that energy is what creates the very thing that's creating the energy. And that is the law of attraction. You see, it's energy creating itself. So how can you create this energy? Well, you just flow it. And the more you flow it, the more you'll grow it. It even rhymes, the more you flow it, the more you grow it. And it's true. So your capacity to dream, your capacity to have more energy, to access more energy, to tap into higher frequencies of your own energy so you can transmit that, because everything is an evolution. How much energy of red survival energy you think was transmitted during the Middle Ages? And at what intensity? Well, sometimes a very peak intensity, but that allowed new stages of evolution, new stages of consciousness, where people eventually arrived at the Renaissance. So now you would have an expression of the flow of energy in totally different ways, whereas before you needed to crush somebody's bones to get that sort of frequency and intensity of energy. Now you just need to, compose a sonata to make other people flow. You see, and expand the plethora of options that are available for you to flow energy. So all these options that are available were kind of energy guided by people who have had previous iterations in the simulation already, because it's built upon itself. That's built upon itself, the energy of itself that was remainder from the previous time it played itself. I know that sounded a little confusing. Maybe you're with me, you know? I hope it was, I don't know, just a messenger. Face up. Flowing of energy. So, what's the secret of life? Yeah. Well, the secret of life is understanding all the energy is flowing. It's just energy in motion. It's just energy flowing. And it's the energy in you. It's my energy in you. In your energy. In the things that you seek. That's why you seek them. Because they're your energy. That's the code. That's the pattern. So the energy that attracts itself to the energy that has the same codex as the previous form of energy. Just like the bear example. So the expression of that energy is concurrent, is similar, is synchronous to what it's creating to be able to flow it. Maybe I'm explaining this too much. Maybe it's simpler than it is. I know it is, and I've been told that I talk too much, but in a loving way. So in as much, I wanted to end this video just reminding you of the beauty of life, because in this iteration, in this part of the equation, you are expressing the energy and washing it off so you can give it back to where it belongs, because you're conduits of energy, conduits of information, you're flowers of the force. You're the midichlorians that allow the force to happen. What if we are just the microscopic beings that are alive inside the cells of a larger entity? And what if that is just the fuel source? We are just a fuel source of the entity, because we are part of it too. And all the energy that you have ever created or used, you are purifying, you're harmonizing, you're clearing it. Sometimes it's harder than others. That's why sometimes people are just so entangled with that energy that they, and sometimes it's insurmountable. It's too much energy to clear. But they still have their own energy. But all the things that appear in that person's life to mold, to shape, to dampen, to trick, to create, emotional flow in that person's energy, in that person's life, is precisely there, particularly there, to create that frequency of energy that needs to be purified, resolved, harmonized, and offered back to source. So that energy needs to be addressed, that energy needs to be expressed, and then it can flow back. So that's what we do without even knowing. And the more we don't ignore it, because we don't come with a rule book, we don't know how this works, we don't know why we pursue the things that we pursue. We just know that it gives us pleasure, makes us flow, gives us life, gives us purpose, gives us reason. If you're a composer, if you're a lyricist, you know what I'm talking about. It's the flow of energy. So every time you create something, you're creating something out of nothing. You're using that energy to create more of this simulation. You're expanding it. It's the energy of a creation, the energy of the simulation, the energy of the universe that keeps expanding and makes it even more jolly for everyone. But you see, the beauty of life is that the energy of you is in me. So if we transmit energy by fighting, if we transmit energy by force, if we transmit the energy creating emotions that are in the lower parts of the emotional scale that I presented on the first video. You know, I don't have to show anything because you're all educated. You all know how to search things. You can pause the video and look it up. So that's why this video doesn't have all the bells and whistles. And who shoots a video like this? Right? It's all flow of energy. It's all the flow of energy. So the way the energy flows in you is the things that you need to unravel so you can clear up the energy that is part of you. How can you say it's not your energy when it's in you, even though it was from the previous iteration, the previous time you played the game? Hey, but I don't remember that. Well, you can't. But you can feel it. You kind of know it. You kind of sense it. Karma origins. You kind of sense it. It's the seventh sense. Maybe it's the sixth. You kind of just know it. How can you just know something? No, it was really magical. Of course it was. It was the energy seeking expression that led you to be exactly where you needed to go and do exactly what you needed to do, to be exactly who you needed to be, to face exactly the energy in that form. Because you needed to face it so you could unravel it and use it. It's in your arsenal. But you need to purify it first. You need to clear it first. It's karma origins. So that's the beauty of life. Everything is you, and you create everything. And you create everything by flowing the energy through you and pursuing the things that make you feel good. That even rhymed. And in that manner, you create things that are your passion, and you change the world with your actions. So you see how the things that had to happen prior to me had to be there so it could be a stepping stone. Every time I reference the Matrix, every time I reference Star Wars, you had to know it so you could understand it. So it was a previous iteration of an energy that was trying to express itself through you, because we all collectively need to clear energy that was very similar in nature. We have clusters of energy that we share with others. That's why we sometimes pursue things in collusion in groups. I just feel I belong here. That sense of belonging, of course, it's part of your energy. It's where you belong there. You know? Hope this makes a little sense. We can talk more. Again, the project that I have envisioned, actually I should say the project that was given to me, but in the way I see it, is going to allow us to interconnect these energies and see patterns in the collectiveness, and then we can heal entire blockchains of energy that are just the same because of whatever happened in a previous iteration. Let's say everybody who was in that boat, then my heart will go on, will have that energy to harmonize pretty intensely, wouldn't you agree? So all those who carry that energy to today are the ones who are most attracted to that energy in the first place. And it's some are the reason why they actually decided to create a masterpiece of cinematic history in its homage. It was just connecting the energy so people could get the expression of the energy they carried in a collective manner all together. That's my favorite movie. Of course it is. So now that you have harmonized that energy, maybe it's at your use, or maybe it was just automatically offered back to the universe. So you're not even carrying it anymore. Obviously, that's what happens. So the energy that you had that wasn't hindering you, but you needed to resolve it, was just, once it was harmonized, it was just transmuted back to source. You flow that energy. You good, great Midichlorian. Cheers for you. Keep doing what you're doing if it's working for you. You know what, at the end of the day, because the next day you'll have more energy if you're flowing. You see, when we start not flowing energy, that's when we start bringing to us bad flow of energy, and when we are not allowed to flow the energy through us in the rate that it needs to flow, we then get physical illness because our body is a conduit, so it has to be shining in order to, do its job and transmit the energy. But what happens if there's a little bit of rust in the connector, the physical connector? If you imagine the huge plug in the universe and you're one fiber that's looking for the connection with another fiber, in that huge connector that's connecting the energy that's going to flow through the universe, the energy of you, then everything that we seek is an expression. Everything that makes us move energy is harmonizing it. It's giving it back. It's allowing it to flow. We need to make energy flow one way or another. If it's putting cars in the moon or building bases in Mars, it doesn't matter. We just have to keep expanding. We have to keep desiring. We have to keep the energy flowing through us. And that's the root of marketing. Marketers, pay attention. Well, I have a master's degree in marketing. Yeah, I do. And I cut tomatoes for a living. But that's just, the energy that's flowing through me at the moment. But that's beside the point. The things that you seek are seeking you, because they're expressions of the energy that's in you, that you carry. And once you harmonize them, they're free, they're gone, they're transmuted. And you have repaid that energy that you carried. And let's say that it just so happens that for a lot of hard work and self-awareness and seeking knowledge, understanding Tamil Nase, that sign on the top of the door from the oracle's door, which means know thyself. When you know all the facets of the energy that is you, and once you have been able to harmonize all those blockchains of energy, not blockchains, but all those parts of energy fragments that were remainders of the equation of your last iteration. So when you're able to harmonize all those, then you're free. You're free. You've reached enlightenment. Not many people get there because it's hard, because you need to peel all the layers of you. I go back and back and back and back and back to the bear. Can you imagine? Where we're flowing that energy, we can flow huge amounts of energy at once if the connection is strong enough, if the connection is powerful enough. The connection of what? The connection of what we seek in this reality, of the things that give us that righteous moment that we are in awe and we're transmitting that energy and we're letting it flow, be it the climax or be it being in an opera finale, be it by just tearing up and crying and letting that energy flow. Have you ever cried without no reason? Especially you girls, gals. Have you ever just cried with no reason? You're just allowing the energy to flow. Maybe something was presented to you, released, retrieved. Something was activated in you, and automatically, without you having to do any conscious effort at it. And that's the beauty. Sometimes you don't even have to do any conscious effort of it. You're harmonizing that energy and you're letting it flow, and it's making you grow, propelling the simulation, making it expand. I think that is all. If you made it this far, congratulations. I hope you have learned something. I'm not your teacher, and this information was given to me. I'm just a messenger, and let's make this one count, because the more energy we can move together collectively, the more of the force we're allowing to flow, the more we're creating, because we are allowing that energy to flow back. We're fueling the thing that is creating the energy, which is us. Thank you immensely for being here. And for now, I am complete.